And so basically, as you can tell by the name of this video, what I'm going to be going over is basically just my Ultimate Team basics. I guess what I mean by that is this is just me playing it. I haven't pre-ordered it, I didn't do anything, I didn't get any extra packs. This is basically what you start off as. I'm just going to kind of go over how you should start building your team. Maybe that should be the name of the video. And what you should be doing first, because basically you're not going to start off with a 99 overall team, obviously. You're going to start off with like a 70 overall team. You got to work your way up, obviously. And that's one of the best things about my Ultimate Team. So basically, right off the bat, gives me a this is the screen. I haven't even gone in here, so view lineup. I have a 59 overall team. Basically, I don't think I can name one single person on this team. Alright, press X to continue. This is your offense. That's awesome. So I'm going to go to the defense now. This is your defense. Okay, alright. So basically, okay, and that's to continue. We're not going to look at the special teams because apparently that's not important. Collect NFL stars. You're going to give me an NFL star? Choose your NFL stars. These players will be the cornerstone of your team. Now, this is really, really cool because I didn't know that you could do this. If you can pick the cornerstone of your team, what that gives you is an option to basically just, you know, if you want a running back and a quarterback, maybe you get that chance. It looks like you get a defensive player and an offensive player. For me, it looks... Okay, there we go. I didn't know if I have to only pick those two. So let's just go through all of them. We'll start off with the first one. So we have DeMarco Murray and Jarrell Casey. I don't know what their overalls are in this game yet. So I'm just going to go based off of what I know of them. I believe that's Fernell McPhee, I believe, and Alshon Jeffrey. Now I do know Casey and I know Murray's obviously he had one of the better running backs in the league. He had a bad year last year with Philadelphia. It was kind of a bad situation, I think, for him. But anyways, you have Jeffrey, who is one of the more unstoppable wide receivers in the game because he's so tall. And McPhee, I don't know too much about McPhee. I remember seeing a couple of cards of him last year. You have AJ Green, who is one of the best wide receivers in the league. And you have Geno Atkins, who is, I don't know too many defensive tackles that are better. I mean, you have Aaron Donald. But other than that, you have Stephon Gilmore and Sammy Watkins. Gilmore, that's a little weird for me. See Gilmore there. Watkins is a good receiver, but I don't think that would be a good team to pick. I think the Broncos have a great team, but now that I think about it, from this pack, you kind of want to get a quarterback or a running back, and you kind of want to get a linebacker, or I would think a corner. You want one of those two. Demaryius Thomas is obviously a great wide receiver, but the problem with that is that you need a quarterback to throw to him, and if it's not a good throw, he can't catch it sometimes. Von Miller is obviously a great pass rusher, great player, so he would be nice to have. Joe Hayden and Gary Barnidge, I believe. I have not paid attention to the Browns. I know Joe Hayden's obviously one of the best, he definitely was one of the best lockdown corners in the league. And it looks like Gary Barnidge is a tight end or a receiver, so I probably wouldn't pick that. You have Levante David and Mike Evans. Now, Levante David is one of my favorite players in my Ultimate Team, in my Ultimate Team in MUT. Mike Evans is probably one of the more unstoppable receivers in the league now that Calvin Johnson's not in. So that's, I mean, granted, I wouldn't pick that just because it's a receiver. You kind of want to get a running back. Fitzgerald and Peterson, great combination, but again, Keenan Allen and Verrett, better options out there. Eric Berry and Jamal Charles. Now, Jamal Charles has the speed factor, which allows him to basically change the game for your team. Eric Berry, great safety. So that would be an option, I guess. Vontae Davis and Andrew Luck. That's probably one of the best options you can get. Andrew Luck being a quarterback, and Vontae Davis being a corner. I can't wait to see the Panthers. That's going to be amazing. Sean Lee and Des Bryant. I think Sean Lee is a great, solid player, and Des Bryant is obviously one of the best receivers in the league. But I don't think that Sean Lee would be someone you want to start off with to build your team around. Cameron Wake, one of the best pass rushers, and Jerron Landry. I just think there's better options out there than those two. Fletcher Cox and Zach Ertz. If I have to see, it's just I don't feel like you could do that. I just feel like there's not enough star power to like will your team to win. Desmond Trufant and Julio Jones. That's a weird combination. Again, the receiver is weird for me. I'm not the biggest fan of getting amazing receivers right off the bat because you need a quarterback to throw to them, and if it's a bad throw in this game, you will not be catching it. So I believe that you should probably just get a quarterback, preferably, or a running back. Navarro Bowman and Carlos Hyde. I don't know how Carlos Hyde's rating is. I should have looked these up. Navarro Bowman, obviously one of the better linebackers. Odell Beckham Jr. and Vernon there. Now Vernon is he was from Miami, I believe, and he is a linebacker. I'm trying to think. I believe he's more of a pass rushing linebacker. Again, a receiver and a linebacker is a little weird. Prince Amukamara and crap. Can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. Anyways, probably not. There's definitely better options than this. Darrelle Revis and Brandon Marshall. Now, again, I said that it's a weird thing to have as a wide receiver. But one of the better things, if you're going to pick a wide receiver, you want a taller wide receiver. Because if it's a bad throw by the quarterback, at least maybe the height could make up for it. If that makes sense, if it's a high throw, maybe the guy can just jump over everyone and just get the ball. And Ziggy Ansah and Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's not really like I would not pick this. I feel like it would be a weird team. Clay Matthews and Aaron Rodgers. I feel like you could easily pick this. If you just want a solid option and you just want to be solid and, there's literally no risk with this team. Clay Matthews, you could say there's a little bit of risk, maybe, but Aaron Rodgers is probably the best player in the NFL right now. Or one of the best players in the NFL. I don't want to say the best, but he is one of the better players. He's very complete. He does literally everything for that team. Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly. I literally don't. This was why I was waiting for the Panthers. I don't think there's going to be a different option than the Panthers. Cam Newton, obviously, probably more on the athletic side of. Obviously, as a quarterback, he's a lot more athletic than most of the quarterbacks, if not all of them. He is a lot bigger than all the other quarterbacks. He can take over a game. He proved that last year. Sadly, he ran into a great defense in Denver. And Luke Kuechly, if not the best middle linebacker, he is the best linebacker. I think he's proven he is by far one of the better linebackers in the league. Tom Brady and Jamie Collins. Now, I'm not the biggest Patriots fan, but I can tell you that Jamie Collins is my favorite player on that team. Tom Brady, obviously, it's Tom Brady. I don't know what else to really say about him. He's a great football player. He's just great. But I do think that the combination of Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly is better for my ultimate team. Tom Brady isn't as athletic, so I think that gives him a little bit of a downgrade there just because of the fact that he's not going to be able to get out of the pocket and run like Cam Newton, and that's kind of what people do in my ultimate team. Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. Now, this might be the most exciting pick you could possibly do here, because Amari Cooper is an upcoming wide receiver now, and he is one of my favorite upcoming players. He's a great route runner. He is just great at a lot of things, very fast, he's just very good, I feel. That's my opinion of him. And Khalil Mack is just very solid. He's going to get the job done. Again, it's a little weird for him being at the wide receiver position for Amari Cooper. Would he be able to take the game over? That's kind of what you're looking for. Can he take over the game by himself if everyone else around him is a 60 overall? Can Amari Cooper do that? I don't know if he can. I think he's too young. I think he needs to get a little bit older for him to do this. But if those two are on the same team next year, and you said, "Oh yeah, I'm picking the Raiders," I would not think any less of you. Those two are amazing football players, and that Raider team is going to be good. This is a team. This is literally the second best, if not the best. Now, one of my best friends is a Rams fan, and he writes for the Rams, so I hear about this team all the time. But Aaron Donald, I think, is the best defensive tackle in the league, because J.J. Watt is an end, so that makes Donald, I think, possibly the second best defensive lineman. I can't think of any more linemen that we passed. Todd Gurley is an upcoming back. I love the way he plays. He is a great back, and if he stays on that team, he will get so many touches, and I think it would be great for him to stay around. The only problem with the Rams is that they need to work on their secondary. The linebackers, I personally like the way that their linebackers play. I hope they keep their linebackers that way. They just need to get a secondary, and hopefully, Jared Goff can at least score them 20 points. Because if they score 20 points, this defense isn't going to let up more than 20 points that often. Alright, so we go to the Ravens. If you told me this team 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would have said, yeah, with Terrell Suggs and Joe Flacco. I just think that Joe Flacco has come up a lot. He is just not as good as he used to be when he won the Super Bowl, when Ray Lewis was on the team. What was that, like 5 years ago? 5 years ago, maybe? Terrell Suggs, obviously one of the better linebackers. Well, he was one of the better linebackers. I don't know what he's rated in this game, but I would not pick this. If anything, the Tom Brady and Jamie Collins would be a better version. Deshaun Jackson and if you want big plays, if you just want big plays and that's all you want from your team, I don't see how you could pick any other team from this. Now, Josh Norman, that's going to be a great matchup with him and Odell Beckham. I can't wait. As a football fan, you need to love that. Because obviously football is very physical. And I think there should be a lot more trash talking, and they should allow the players to trash talk more because, that's what makes these rivalries between Josh Norman and Odell. I love that. Now, a couple of the hits were a little out of line where Odell would go helmet first into Josh Norman. That's a little too dirty because you're risking a concussion there. But if you're just giving someone a shove to the chest or whatever, that's 100% fine. And if you're just talking smack, that's fine. Words don't mean anything. These guys are grown men. If words hurt them still and they're in the NFL, I don't see how they can play. It's impossible. They hear this all the time. So, honestly, I can't wait to see that. Hopefully the refs let them play through it as long as they're not, trying to hurt someone else, if you guys know what I mean. I'm all for trash talking and everything, as long as you are not putting someone else's health at risk. Because that's where it kind of gets okay, you don't want to be going head hunting now when the play's already over and you're just going head first into someone else's head. That's a little wrong. At least that's my point of view. Everyone has their own viewpoint. Drew Brees and Cameron Jordan, not too bad. It's just Drew Brees is just not the type of milestone quarterback that you're going to have. Now, I don't know what these overalls are. They might be adjusted to 80 or something, so you don't just have diamond players right off the bat, or whatever these guys are, elite players. Russell Wilson and Richard Sherman. Oh, wow. Wow. So Russell Wilson is a little bit like Cam Newton way, obviously. He's obviously a lot smaller, but he's a lot more agile. I don't know how that would help him, though, in my ultimate team. I think Cam Newton would be a little bit more viable than Russell Wilson would be. But personally, I would rather have Richard Sherman locking down one side because one way people score is just deep balls, and if you don't have a Richard Sherman out there, they're just going to keep throwing deep balls. People are scared to throw Richard Sherman's way, whether you like the guy or not. He's a great corner when he's on his side of the field. People say, you can only play one side. Well, that's the strategy he's in, so that's good. well, maybe you can only play man-to-man. I don't know. Me personally, it doesn't matter what strategy you're using. If your strategy works to stop the other team, then you're a good corner. I don't. At least that's how I look at it. If you can stop the other team from scoring, and you make Aaron Rodgers not throw to your side the entire game, I would consider you to be pretty good. I mean, he's a very good corner. So, if people still want to argue it, that's fine. But Cameron Hayward and Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, the best wide receiver in the game right now because of the fact that Calvin Johnson retired. Hayward I don't think he's a dominant player to take over any game. Brown would be, but if you don't mind, but there's just better options. There's no reason to take Brown and just try and take a Hayward. There's no reason to do that. But Brown is obviously one of the better players. J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins. This could be it. It also take. That's hard. No, I don't want to see that team. No. Good. Okay, there we go. DeAndre Hopkins is obviously bigger. Oh no, he's like 6'2". He's like 6'2". But he's got hops. He can jump. He can get those jump balls. J.J. Watt. I don't know if I had to say anything. He's basically, if not the most dominant player in the NFL, he is considered to be one of them. The man's a monster. You basically have to triple team him in order to stop him, which is just not possible. So that's a good combination. But you gotta get if you want to go mainly just defense, get J.J. Watt, I guess. That's how I guess you could do that. Just get J.J. Watt, and then DeAndre Hopkins would be decent, but he's not going to take over the game. I don't think this would be a viable option, but I think that if you want a J.J. Watt to play with, it's not bad. None to the last, but by far not the least team. Adrian Peterson and Anthony Barr. Okay, Adrian Peterson, obviously, when he was healthy, was by far the most dominant running back in the game. The man literally was 8 yards away from setting the single-season rushing record. And, the guy is just a monster. You can't physically stop him one-on-one if he wants to get by you. Anthony Barr is becoming one of my favorite linebackers. I love the way he plays, and I think, I don't know what position he'd be playing in this game. I'm pretty sure last game he was a left outside linebacker. But if you put him on the left side of your defense, I would not run on that side of the, I would run to the right every time. So I think he's one of those players where, you don't really want to run at him, or really do anything in his direction. So I think that could be definitely a viable option if you want the running back combo. But if you wanted a better running back combo, I don't see too many better running backs at the moment. You have Jamal Charles, but Eric Berry would be a little weird. I think you could do that, but what else do you have here? Carlos Hyde, I wouldn't like that. Navarro Bowman would be solid, but I don't think he's a game changer overall. Odell Beckham and Oliver Vernon. Yeah, if you want a running back, just go Todd Gurley. If you want a running back, go Todd Gurley. If you want defensive line, just go the Rams, because the Rams, there's no way you can go wrong with the Rams or the Packers. All right. I may even pick the Rams. The reason I'm going to pick the Panthers, if you pick one of these three teams, you can't go wrong. I just feel as if there's no way. The only reason, it's more of just the Panthers and the Rams for me. It's just, you could go wrong here because Clay Matthews might not perform as well as you like him to if they keep throwing the ball. But if you pick the Rams, you got a great running back that you're just going to bulldoze every time. And then you have Aaron Donald who's going to stop the run and, get a ton of sacks every time. Then you have Cam Newton who can easily take over the game, basically, and Luke Kuechly. I'm going to do that. It's just... Oh, yeah, they're going to give you the 77 overall versions of them. That's fine. So they're really not going to be that big of a deal. It doesn't necessarily matter who you pick. Upgrade your team here. So what we're gonna do, best team overall, I guess. That's, oh look, my overall improved 3 points. Alright, so I'll just continue. So I guess it doesn't necessarily matter who I guess you really pick, because it's just simply a 77 overall of whoever. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. That was just the basics of it. I'll get more into depth about the other positions and basically who you want to pick and who should be on your team. As you can see, I don't have any coins or anything. I didn't pre-order it. I didn't even know the game was coming out. I literally bought it the day it came out. So I never saw anything about it at all. So I think they did a terrible job marketing it. I feel like it should have been on ESPN all the time, but I watch it every day. I've never seen it. Never seen a commercial for this game, but it's whatever. I would have paid the extra $30 too. That's depressing. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys got something from it. And if you want more videos, just ask. If you want to know what positions you should focus on, let me know. I think I covered that, but if you want to know more in depth about what you should be looking at in certain positions, then just let me know, and I will get that to you guys. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.